Started. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule to hear about back to school Plexus style. My name's Michelle Stuchel. I'm a Sapphire Ambassador, and it just means I've helped a lot of people on their health and happiness journey. And I am here with my dear, dear friend, Rachel Thompson, Gold Ambassador.
Hello,
And
everyone.
yes. And we are so thankful that you are taking time out of your busy schedule to hear how Plexus can help you with back to school. And back to school is really exciting. I love routine. We love back to school, but back to school can bring a whole host of issues with it, right? There's a bug going through my children's school, lots of bugs. Everywhere you turn, you're hearing about the rise in COVID and, people, there's even talk about masks coming back and all sorts of craziness. Immunity is a huge thing. It's a big deal. And then, of course, you've got the expense of back to school. I recently read somewhere that the average American household spends $800 per child on back to school. That blew my mind. $800 in back to school expenses. And back to school can be really expensive if you're paying for private school tuition, like we are for two of our children. If they're doing clubs or travel ball, or you have to pay for, the costume for the recital, or fill in the blank, lots of expenses, which we all want to do, right? So back to school is incredible and fun, and yet it has its own unique challenges. Estimates say, researchers have said that 70% of your immune system is housed within the gut. And gut health, you can go ahead and research gut health and find scores and scores of studies, articles. It seems like there's a new study being published every day about the importance of gut health affecting not only your immunity, but your overall health. And that is exactly what we focus on. Can you imagine 70% of your immune system is housed in your gut? And if your gut is off, guess what? Everything is off. I never knew that all my seemingly disparate issues had the same roots of poor gut health, blood sugar imbalance, and inflammation. And if I dealt with them by giving them best-in-class plant-based supplements, that my body could come back into balance and I could get my life back again. Let's just say at 51, I'm in the best health of my life, so much better than I was 7 years ago. I've been on Plexus for 6 years. I'm convinced if that virus that happened, in 2020, if that had happened to me 7 years ago, it would be my life would look very, very, very different. But I've spent years rebuilding my gut, and it's just incredible how I've gotten my health back. So I guess I'll just start with my testimony and then turn it over to Rachel. Basically, I had awful sinus infections that would turn into awful allergies that would turn into sinus infections, allergy-induced asthma, bronchitis. It was so bad that my allergist told me that if I could get a job outside of Savannah, my husband, then we needed to take it because I would never feel good here. Digestive issues, always bloated, looked 6 months pregnant. I mean, if I went to the bathroom 3 times a week, it was a great week. PCOS, I had psoriasis on my elbows, fungal issues like toenail fungus, more yeast issues, a mild case of sleep apnea, high cholesterol. Let's see, what else was wrong with me? I can't remember. Oh, I was just exhausted, always sucking down coffee and tea, just, complete survival mode. And I had spent so much time, money, and energy on things that didn't work until Plexus. And then I started noticing subtle changes over time. And within 9 months, I came off all my medicines. I've not had one prescription since starting these products. And just to put that into context, I was getting 1 to 3 sinus infections a year, and I had had over 35 prescriptions in the 8 years prior to starting Plexus. And that didn't include anything I got in the doctor's office, like allergy shots or steroids or breathing treatments. So I'd had a lot of different stuff going on in my body, and now I've not had anything since Plexus. Occasionally I have to do a nasal spray when, allergies are bad, but it's completely transformed my life. And at 51, I look and feel better than I did in my 30s. And it's because these products. And that's my story. And now I want you to hear from my dear friend, Rachel.
Thanks, Michelle. It's good to be on with you all. And I love anytime I get to share and to be with Michelle because we met, I don't know, 2019, maybe. Is that the year? And we were just instant friends. And we had so much in common, so many things that were similar. She lives in Savannah. I live in South Florida, but our lives were similar. So we hit it off. And then a couple months, maybe about 6 months later, 9 months later, I got sick, really sick. It was bizarre. Stroke level blood pressure with no blood pressure issues, and went through some really crazy health things. And I began this health journey. And Michelle, the amazing friend that she is, just kept checking in on me and saying, how are you doing? What's going on? What's the latest with your health? And so a year ago, can you believe this, Michelle? It has been 1 year since I started Plexus with Michelle. I had reached out. Well, we were always talking. We were always messaging each other. So it wasn't abnormal for us to just have, conversations going all the time. And I just said, hey, Michelle, I need simplicity. There was a lot going on in my health journey, and I was on a lot of supplements. A lot of things were happening. So I just said, Michelle, I think it's time for Plexus. I think it's time for the simplicity. And so Michelle said, girl, let's go. Let's do this thing. And I just celebrated my 1 year anniversary on Plexus, and it has simplified my life, hasn't it, Michelle?
Yeah, it really has.
So,
I mean, I remember you
yeah.
sending me your laundry list of things you were taking, and it just blew
Yes.
my mind.
Yes. So I'm so grateful that Michelle, being the friend that she is, always checked in with me and then helped me along this journey. And what Michelle helped me start with is what she actually started on too, which was the Triplex and X Factor Plus. And so that's the next thing that we're going to talk about, of those items, of how it helped me as a mom. And I was working on my health so that I could be healthy and well for my family. And same as you were hearing Michelle's testimony, the same thing for her. So both of us were on the Triplex and X Factor Plus. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that, Michelle.
That's right. So that's really the core of what we do is our triplex. And that's just 3 products that are packaged together. They're like our core foundation to address those core health issues. The first product, you've seen us post about it all over, is the pink drink, right? It comes in a little stick pack, and you mix it with a bottle of water and drink it either once or twice a day. And what this does, what this does is it helps to regulate your blood sugar. It regulates your blood sugar. Now, if you're anything like me, I used to think that that was only important for diabetics. But what I didn't realize is that everybody needs supplementation to regulate their blood sugar, even if you're eating clean, because it is tied to every aspect of life. It's tied to your cardiac health. It's tied to your mood. It's tied to your hormones. It's tied to your sleep patterns, your fat metabolism. All these different areas of life go back to your blood sugar. I mean, thyroid medicine is the #1 or #2 prescribed medicine every year in America. And that goes back to your blood sugar. And even if you're eating clean, you need supplementation to regulate your blood sugar, because everybody has stress in their life. It's 2023. And even if you have good stress, it's still stress. So that's why this is so critical. And oh yeah, I mean, I had crazy hormones, crazy cycles. We called me mommy monster, once or twice a month. And so I desperately needed this. So both formulations regulate your blood sugar. This one is our microbiome activating slim. And what this is also actually a gut health product, because it also has prebiotics in it to activate and feed the good bacteria in your gut. And it is a delicious raspberry lemon watermelon flavor. And then this larger one is the hunger control, and it, again, regulates your blood sugar. So, but it's not a gut health product. It doesn't have the prebiotics in it. What it does have is dietary fiber to act more as a hunger suppressant. And this is a blood orange lemon lime flavor. I love them both. I drink them both. If I do 2 a day, I like to take 1 of each. So I'm definitely getting the prebiotics, but then I really love this flavor too. And so that is our pink drink. And so you can expect, feeling good, natural sustained energy, hormone balances, improved cardiac health, better sleep, waking up feeling more rested. And this is over time. It's not like, you drink a Slim and then you feel perfect the next day. These are plant-based natural supplements that are long-term health solutions. But I love my pink drink. I'm 6.5 years strong, never miss a day. Okay, so the second product in our triplex is our ProBio 5. It is our probiotic that's unlike any probiotic on the market for 2 primary reasons. The first is that it's really not freeze-dried, but the best way I can describe it is being freeze-dried. Basically, it's stable. So when you put it in your mouth, the bacteria doesn't die. It actually makes it to your gut where it needs to be. So it remains stable and alive until it gets to your gut. If you've ever bought a probiotic that had to be refrigerated, guess what? As soon as you put it in your mouth, it begins to die. So you've just, some of those bacteria are dying and they're not getting to your gut where they need it to be. So it is stable. And then the second reason why it's different is because it has antifungal enzymes to kill off yeast overgrowth. And here's the dirty little secret. You can take as many probiotics as you want, but unless you kill off the yeast overgrowth in your gut, you're truly not getting to the root of your issue. We've all heard the term leaky gut, right? Well, I never really knew what leaky gut was until Plexus. Now, quick science lesson. We're all born with a little bit of yeast in our gut, but the only reason why we have it is because it decomposes our bodies when we die. Okay, let that sink in. Okay, now we've all, because of the culture we live in, we don't eat fermented foods. Everything's processed. Everything has sugar in it. You've had a Diet Coke. You popped a Tylenol. You had a vaccine. Fill in the blank. All things that we've all done. It disrupts the delicate balance of bacteria in your gut and it allows the yeast to proliferate. Okay, and so it grows, and so yeast does what yeast does, and it starts to decompose you while you're alive. It starts eating and poking holes through the intestinal lining of your gut, which allows food particles and digestive juices to seep into the bloodstream and wreak havoc on the body. Okay, so in order to heal the gut, you need to kill off the yeast. And that is exactly what ProBio 5 does. It has these enzymes. Yeast has a hard exoskeleton on it, kind of like think about the hard shell of a cockroach or a shrimp. So this actually will break through that biofilm and kill off the yeast. Okay, so this is, again, unlike any other probiotic on the market, really, really, really important. Okay, now with that, the third product in our triplex is our BioCleanse. And this is a cleanse at a cellular level. It's a gentle magnesium supplement, but it also has bioflavonoids, vitamin C, and it really helps rid the body of toxic waste. And it also helps to oxygenate the blood. And here's the deal. Disease cannot live in an oxygenated environment. So it does help to rid the body of toxic waste. Most Americans have between 9 and 14 pounds of toxic waste buildup in their gut. And as the ProBio 5 is killing off the yeast, yeast releases over 80 different toxins in the body when it dies. And so this helps rid the body of all that toxic waste. This is a disgusting analogy, but it works. So please forgive me in advance. The ProBio 5 scrubs the toilet. The BioCleanse flushes the toilet. So we want to keep things, we want to keep things moving and healthy. So that is our triplex, our Slim, our pink drink, the ProBio 5, and the BioCleanse. And quickly, the other one product I wanted to highlight that both Rachel and I are on is the X Factor Plus. It is a methylated vitamin that's chelated, and all that really means is that it's in the highest bioavailable form that your body can actually absorb. There is a gene mutation that 40 to 60% of the American population has called MTHFR. And if you have that gene mutation, Rachel has it, my daughters have it, you cannot absorb certain nutrients, and this is methylated so your body can actually absorb it. Plus, it also has aloe in it. It's actually like the capsules are bright green. It's actually kind of funny. And everybody knows how healing aloe is. And so this actually ramps up the absorption of what you're taking by up to 400%. And it's like straight nutrition to our cells because our soil is depleted. An apple today is not what an apple used to be 50 years ago. So this really does fill in the nutritional gaps that we all have. So this is a game changer and is a vitamin that you will actually you can tell a difference with X Factor Plus. And that's what we started with as adults.
Yes. And it has been like, I love that you said it was a game changer because I just put that in the chat log because it's like, yeah, having it has been a game changer. And the sole reason, well, I had said earlier, I wanted simplicity for sure. Right. But it was the ProBio 5 that was the icing on the cake that it was like, it's time to change because there was nothing quite like it on the market. So I'm grateful that you told me, Michelle, all about it. And it has made such a difference in my life. So we've been talking about us moms because our immunity is important. But what about our kiddos? Because like you were just saying, things are going around, bugs are growing around. Our kids are around other kids, right? They're around us. So what do we do with our kids, Michelle?
That's right. Okay. So when I started, when my kids were 8 and 10 years ago, I actually started them on triplex. I just dosed it to their weight and age. Now my 8-year-old, we do have a kids line. There's a microbiome drink that is really great for your kids. And my 8-year-old still takes our X Factor Kids. And this is a multivitamin and probiotic all in one without any extra sugars. It's not a gummy that has sugar that's counterbalancing everything that you're putting in that you buy at Target. And it's methylated and it gives the little bodies exactly what it needs. And then the microbiome drink for kids actually has DHA and everything that's good for brain development. And so I have my youngest on these, and these taste like sweet tarts. And I have been known to raid her bottle. I think they should market these as adult sweet tarts because they are so delicious. But I have my youngest on these, and I've actually given her ProBio 5 before. I keep ordering this because I want to keep taking it, and she does love it. But for years, I've recommended for parents to actually give, depending on the needs of the child, triplex to their kids. If they can swallow pills or if we need to swallow capsules, open them up, just depends on the severity of the issue. But it's been a game changer for my children too. So I remember when my daughter was, I think, 3, and they announced that this came up, I just cried. I cried because I knew I was so thankful that there was a product that I could give my youngest that she could consume that could begin her gut healing instead of waiting until, she could swallow a capsule. So I love that we have a kids line as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. My kids are older, so they're on all of the things, and it has been a game changer for them too. They're doing well. They manage and navigate through the things that are, being tossed around out there. So we're really grateful for it too. And it looks like there's other people in the chat log that, Angela's son started at 9. So that is awesome. Great. I love that. Thanks for sharing that, Michelle. I love that you've been able to see both things. You've been able to see the kids product and then be able to use the triplex and dose it to the needs of your kids. So that's awesome. So we've got our mamas covered and dads. We don't want to leave any dads out here that are on the call. And then we got our kids covered. So I'm just grateful that Michelle shared it with me because as her friend, she shared and she helped me in my journey and as I was navigating, and my needs were changing, right? And so, and I have also been able to help other friends and family too on their journey and just share, just like Michelle has. And so I'm grateful for that, Michelle. And I know that there's so many people out there too that have shared with their friends. And so, you know what? Sharing is caring, right? So, and I know you have a story too about how you have shared and what that looks like in your life, the blessing that it has been for you. So
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I knew that everyone knows that Plexus comes with an opportunity, right? But I wanted nothing to do with that. But I did know that if I liked the products, that I would want to have them paid for. I didn't want to have to budget for them. And so I loved the products and I wanted them budgeted for. But in my first month, I made almost $500. And then I saw the opportunity. Like, I believed in the products. I knew that we had a monthly consumable that every man, woman, and child needed. This wasn't like, you know, leggings or jewelry or makeup, but this was, you know, something that was truly changing lives. So I could get behind that and share it because I knew that people needed this. And so fast forward, it has just been a huge blessing to our family. I'm the second highest rank in the company, earning 5 digits a month. I've been earning a 6-figure income, working from home without sacrificing the most important thing, like being with our children, and working on my own time and my own hours. I pay for our kids' private school tuition. You know, because of my income, we were able to take our whole family to New York over the summer and go to Broadway. And I mean, New York is expensive. I mean, it was a pretty penny just to go to see a Broadway show, but we've been able to say yes. We've been able to do things, scratch things off our bucket list. I'm taking my 2 teenage girls next Friday to Mexico on our luxury jewel trip on an all expense paid vacation. And we've been able to give like never before. So it is completely and utterly transformed our lives. So whether your goal is to get your products covered or to pay for travel ball or, you know, cheer or tuition for your kids or a car payment or a mortgage payment or beyond, all of that is possible. And we want you to know that we've got proven systems that work and we can teach you how to share health and happiness with people. So again, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that this has, you know, given you something to think about, some information and inspiration that back to school can be different for you guys this year. Get back to the person that invited you to this event. Again, thanks for your patience and graciousness with us from the beginning of this. And we cannot wait to see your journey unfold. Thanks, everybody. Good night.